To bring in our chief legal analyst, Kalev Rhodes, into this discussion. Kalev, we hear that licensing is at the center of this. Can't they just amend the deal to and upgrade it to a current licensing agreement before the one that's in effect right now runs out?
For any of that to happen, you need two people that are on the same page, and obviously you don't have two parties that are on the same page, or you wouldn't have a breakdown. There is obviously a material breakdown in negotiations. This goes to dollars and cents. That TikTok came about, they probably signed an original licensing agreement with Universal, and Universal was like, hey, this little small company wants to use our licenses. Who cares? They didn't anticipate they'd be bringing in billions of dollars, losing that, and so they're cutting them small checks. They want a bigger portion of what they use. As he mentioned in the piece, 60% of all videos on TikTok have music included. 80% of those ones that they use include Universal's music, and so they recognized that they had the leverage, and TikTok couldn't do anything about it. Either you give us more money or we'll pull our music. That's negotiation 101. At the end of the day, TikTok will have to either increase their prices or try to find something else. The problem is that there is nothing else. And so Universal had the leverage, they had outmaneuvered them, and so now they called their bluff. They tried to say, listen, we're being bullied. Yeah, being bullied is part of the process of negotiating. Normally the bigger party, if you're talking about an Amazon or an Apple, they're able to maneuver these smaller organizations out the way. And here, TikTok is the smaller dog. Even though they are a widely used company, in comparison to Universal, they're small.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens too. If they do, if the music is fully pulled, then what effect will that have on what people post? Because as you mentioned, the music is a huge part to what people post. There are trending audio clips out there and templates that people can use. So will it get to a point, do you think, that they'll wait and see if TikTok's numbers are going to go down as a result?
And that's what I think. I mean, it was part of the negotiation. If you have folks in the room that are doing risk management, they could say, listen, the small amount of money that TikTok is giving us, we're willing to lose that because at some point they'll have to come back to us. TikTok will lose money as well because they'll lose advertising dollars and revenue from folks not putting products on their site. But the other portion is the Universal was saying, you guys aren't doing enough for AI. We don't like that you're using folks to create AI-generated songs. Some of their largest viewed TikTok videos have been ones that are not even real songs. They're taking artists that are used under Universal's contract, and they, like The Weeknd and Yeezy, have come together and created this merger of an album, and it wasn't even a real song, and it's got like 18 million views, one of their largest viewed. And so they said, if you can't do anything to stop this AI work, then we have a problem with that as well. And so that's another issue on top of the dollars that TikTok needs to come out and handle. And TikTok doubled down. They created this new feature that said, let's test out AI-generated music. While Universal wants you to stop doing it, you're going forward. So again, they're on two different islands right now in terms of negotiating.
It's funny because it seems like AI is almost like threatening every single industry we talk about, right? Everyone is trying to figure out, navigate this new world of AI and how to work with it and when it's going to threaten an industry as a whole.
And I think it has potential to be helpful in a number of situations. But in this area where you're talking about artistic expression and artists want to protect their product, they don't want AI coming into place. That's why we had a strike with the writers. That's why we had a number of places. And as we go along with AI trying to find its place in art, it's going to be problematic if you don't have the controls and processes in place to protect the artists. And right now, TikTok doesn't. Universal did a stand for their artists, and I think right now they'll have to come back to the table with more money.
Yeah, a little bit of growing pains too. Kalev, thanks so much for that. And while we wait to see what happens with this licensing dispute, TikTok may be taking aim at YouTube. The vertical video platform is offering perks for users to post long horizontal videos. Some content creators began getting alerts over the past few weeks about this feature. Qualified videos will receive boosted views within 72 hours of posting.